Right, welcome back, guys. Another up close RC. This one here is my original Kyosho Raider from back in the 1980s. So this was bought for me right at the end of the 80s, my 9th birthday. So it was practically 1990 actually. And yeah, this car took an awful lot of stick. This is completely as it was, except for some of those re-tyres off the back of the Scorpion from the Legendary edition. My original tyres were completely bowled, having spent, best part of 5 or 6 years of blasting this around the street. It was used as a road car more than as a buggy. We had a track local to us, which we used to go to from time to time. Take this up and the Grasshopper and just mainly when they weren't racing up there, you could just go in and run your buggies up. It was the local sports centre had it. We'd go up there, have a go on the track, see how we get on, break some parts, take it home for Dad to fix again, break some more parts. So yeah, it's in remarkably good condition, which is really why I don't really want to run it too much these days. The original shocks in the back there, got the original Le Mans stock 05 motor in there, which I'll show you in a moment. It's not very fast. I mean, I probably need to do some maintenance. Someone can give me some pointers on how to maintain these motors. I'd appreciate it if there's anything I can do to get that thing running again back to how it was. I remember this being really quick back in the day, but that was just probably because the alternative was a Grasshopper with a 380 motor in, so anything would be quick, I'd imagine, compared to that, wouldn't it? But yeah, we've got no real breakages on this. The body's got a few cracks on it, and that's the only thing. Right, I'll show you under the hood. Here we go. So we've got a mechanical speed controller on the top of there with a servo feeding it, and then another servo at the front, which, if I'm honest, makes all sorts of noises. I'm not sure it's in the best of health, but it's what we've got at the moment, so we'll go with it. And we've got the ACOMS receiver at the back there, and then that big, I can't remember what that is. Is that a transistor at the side or a resistor or something that everything feeds into? I am not particularly good with the electronics on these old models, if I'm honest. Which is why I ripped most of them out and put modern electronics in. Now, with this particular one, I don't want to do that. It's got so many memories and it's almost, I suppose, too sentimental to do anything with it. There's that Le Mans motor. There's a better view of that now, look. As you know, I've rebuilt one of these recently on the channel, which I haven't actually run yet in anger. It's had a sneaky test drive around the track, but not had any timed laps or anything like that. And it goes quite well. And I've put a different motor in. The ground clearance on it is very, very poor. And this front suspension, certainly on my rebuild, doesn't have a huge amount of travel in. I don't remember it's got a huge amount on this particular version either. It runs very, very low to the ground when it's off the stand. Let me show you. So there is some clearance, but I mean, this one will be. The suspension's done. Look, there's no travel back, no bounce back on that at all. With these sort of pogo shocks, the back one's got quite a bit of life in it still, but the front ones just seem to sink and does nothing else. But I had a lot of fun with this back in the 80s and 90s, well, 90s really as it was. I had a lot of fun with it, and as kids growing up, you played with what you were given, and the thought of having something else other than this was kind of a little bit beyond us, really. So I had to make do with it and dream of all those other models that I wanted, which I now, thankfully own. I'm just going to take you through now the other version of the Raider that I've got that I rebuilt. So this is the rebuilt Raider. You can see some big oil-filled shocks in the back of there, some big oil dampers. Would change, different type of motor. I couldn't afford to put another Le Mans in here, unfortunately. We've got a ESC going on in there. I'll show you that in a minute. Those big bore shocks at the front as well. Scorpion Legendary wheels, which were a pain in the backside to fit, and those brilliant rear tyres now with the stagger still remaining on the front. Great looking body on this one. I was really pleased when this turned up from eBay. It's in really good condition compared to my original. And there's the two of them sat pretty much side by side. Look. Right, let's take the top off this one and take a look underneath. I know someone's going to comment about my electronics. I haven't got around to tidying up those yet since I built it, but you can see it's a lot neater in here when all you've got is that ESC and a modern servo, and then a tiny FlySky receiver at the back there. If you compare that back here to what's going on in there, it's a lot neater and a lot tidier. Let me just give it a spin around here so you can see. There's that motor. I think that was a Carlson motor that went in there. Shocks. I think they were fast tracks. I stuck a bit of weight in the front as well. So what I learned from the DT03 build is that if you can put a bit of weight in the front, it helps combat any understeer, and this thing has bags of understeer. But the rear end has quite a lot of punch actually with that new motor in it. The only thing that still bothers me about this particular rebuild is still, despite the fact that I spent time on it, I still haven't got any sort of rebound travel on those front arms. You see this side, look, just doesn't want to come back up. Something's not quite right, is it? But hey, you can only do so much. But I think I need to take a look at that and try and fix it, because when it goes around the track, it's just going to front end. It's going to dive everywhere because that's not bouncing back up. I think even this one's got a bit more travel in it than this one's got, which is surprising. So still plenty of work to do on these, still some maintenance to do before we give them a run. But I think what we'll do is try and give them a bit of a tete-a-tete when the track's complete in the spring, and take a look at how we go head to head on these two, because I actually wonder whether this one over here, the old school one, might be a bit quicker. But we'll see. All right, guys, thanks ever so much for watching, and please subscribe if you enjoy my content, and see you again on the next one. Thanks.